Hello and welcome back to another fun-filled bat-tastic episode of my custom kit bash, where today it'll be a part 2 to my World's Finest series. Last time we started off with Superman, so this time let's start off with Batman. Now this Batman figure is one of my absolute favorite Batman figures, and I love the coloring of this figure, but there was a few things that I needed to do to make it better. You'll notice that the head on this figure actually is the one that was sculpted to fit on this body, and the original head that came on this body looked a lot different, we'll say. Here's the original head that came on this figure. It's not terrible. Certainly not a terrible head sculpt. It's, you know, it really does look very Batman-esque. Maybe more Batman out of the 90s rather than anything else, but still, this is actually a pretty darn good Batman head sculpt. However, in my opinion, almost nothing beats the head sculpt that came on the SDC exclusive Batman, and I popped it on there because I just thought that it looked better. Now as for the belt, it comes from the Batman figure, which was part of DC Direct's Batman & Son action figure line. It's the same belt which was on the SDCC exclusive Batman figure, only this one is a darker yellow tone, and I think that it looks better. Now the Batman that this body originally came from actually comes from a box set that DC Direct put out called the Arkham Asylum box set. And it was a pretty good box set, but the Batman was clearly the standout figure in this set. Now overall, with the darker gray tone and the black and this darker yellowish belt, I think that it looks a whole lot better, and it actually makes the emblem on Batman's chest stand out a whole lot more than it used to, rather than the belt and the emblem matching. I think that this is a winning combination. From the billowy cape that goes right down to the floor, that scallops that are kind of trailing behind him, to the bulging muscles of this Batman figure, this figure just screams, "I'm Batman." Well, I guess it kind of growls it, doesn't it? "I'm Batman." Yes, this figure growls, "I'm Batman," right to my Batman-loving soul. Now let's talk about old Soupy here. For one, the cape that he's wearing is actually one of the capes that I harvested from one of those DC Direct Last Son Superman bootlegs from China that I bought. I bought a bunch of those to harvest some of the parts off of, and they have an excellent cape, and it's made out of a softer rubber, and I couldn't resist. I actually had to pick a few of them up. I superglued his cape on very, very carefully and made sure that it lined up right along the cape line, because the last thing you want is a sloppy cape glue. And I think I did an okay job. I think it looks pretty good. Now the head sculpt for this figure is actually the one head sculpt that I feel the most exemplifies John Byrne's work, even though I'm not quite sure if they did it that way on purpose. You see, this head sculpt actually comes from the DC Direct Secret Files Superman/Clark Kent action figure. You could actually pull his shirt and tie off and it would expose his Superman uniform underneath his business suit, and his hair didn't go into a complete spit curl because he was part Clark Kent, part Superman, kind of in the middle of that transition. However, I think that this head sculpt really, really does look like John Byrne's rendition of a 1980s Superman. Now the arms, from the elbow down, come from one Superman figure, and the fists were also kit-bashed from another Superman figure. Both the fists on this figure actually come from the DC Universe Classics Superman figure, and the arms from the wrist up to the elbow are also pilfered off of one of those DC Direct Superman bootleg figures from the Last Son series. The same goes for his legs all the way from the knee down to the feet. They are, as well, pilfered from that bootleg Superman figure from China. Now just to quickly point out, one thing that I would change about this figure if I could would be to actually use one of the real DC Direct Last Son Superman figures, because the cape on this one, as you can see from the bootleg, doesn't actually come with an S on the back. To me that's a fairly big deal, but I don't display him so you can see his back, so I can live with it. Is this custom Kitbashed Superman figure perfect? Heck no, they never are. However, I do think that this custom Superman figure does a better job at being a DC Direct John Byrne Superman figure than the one they actually gave us in the Superman Through the Ages 4-pack. That was actually an Alex Ross Superman body with a new head sculpt on top. Now, unlike the last video, this World's Finest display does not have a Wonder Woman figure to make it a trinity. It's just the two of them, because I haven't yet found a Wonder Woman that I can display alongside these figures that I feel matches the overall look and feel and appearance of these figures that I'm not already using for a different Justice League/Superman Batman display. Now, I'm really happy with both of these custom Superman and Batman figures, and I don't think I'm going to make any more changes to these. I'm going to leave them as is, and if you're looking to make either of these yourself, just be warned, to buy all the parts to these, they can be fairly expensive. Just getting the Batman body itself from the Arkham Asylum 4-pack was an arm and a leg. Anyhow, that is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching my second episode in my DC Direct Custom Kitbashed World's Finest Superman Batman action figure series. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. If you liked it, please slap a like on it. Leave a comment down below if you have anything to say. And if you think you'd like to see anything more from this channel in your inbox, don't be afraid to hit the subscribe button and you'll see more of what we do. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.